I think with Dame and me and him have had our back and forths, but Eskino was actually trying to get us both on the phone. And I'm like, sure, I'll talk to him. We've had some back and forth, but at the end of the day, no one really went dirty. No one talked about families or dead relatives or whatever else. Whatever. I'm sure I'm at fault about certain things and he's at fault about certain things. Let's get on the phone and let's see if we can make some money together. Got back to, nah, Dame's still mad at you. I said, all right. I think the problem with Dame is that he actually is a fairly good idea guy, right? He has pretty good big pictures. He understood the big picture of Jay-Z. He understood the big picture of Kanye, of the Diplomats, Just Blaze. So, like a lot of these people, like...
He's ahead of his time, too. He's like, I remember what he said up there at the Breakfast Club, wasn't it true? Everything he basically said, he essentially said... My son has cookies. Well, beyond that, he said, well, why do you need the radio station? Can't you just get your own cameras to film the you guys have a name. Can't you get your own cameras to film the stuff, put it up on YouTube? Yeah. And look what's happening now. Everybody got a podcast on YouTube.
Listen, my last meeting with Dame, he asked me to be the president of his company because he saw what I was already doing. But ultimately, we got into an argument at one point, and then Dame just gets emotional, and nothing will fuck up your business better than your own emotions. Nothing will fuck up your business. And when you look at the kings of industry like Vince McMahon, who turned WWE into $1 billion business, he never took anything personally. People talk shit, people sued him, he brings them back onto WWE and pays them, includes it in the storyline, makes more money off of them. Whatever, don't care. It's all about business. We're here to make money. At the end of the day, no one got physically hurt, no one got beat up, no one got stabbed, no one got shot, no one lost billions of dollars, no one went, homeless, no one went to prison. We could really work it out. And, listen, I offered to do some work with Dame. And listen, if I was $8.7 million in the hole and someone brought some business to me, I would be willing to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. So there's two things about that, right? First of all, I believe Dame is amazing. Dame needs that star with him. He needs someone to bring the attention and eyeballs or the talent to churn out the product.
He doesn't have that now.
That's the hardest thing about what he's doing.
Yeah. And he's the only star on his label, basically.
Yeah.
And listen, he's an interesting guy. When he has his teeth, he's actually interesting to actually, when he talks, he says interesting stuff.
Here's the thing, too, though. I don't know if he has I heard him speak about his debt situation. I don't know if he has the incentive to make the money, though.
No, he has an amount of money that he owes that he cannot repay in his lifetime. He's 55 years old. Imagine coming up with $8.7 million after taxes to pay back a debt.
Well, here's the thing.
And also I'd heard that Kanye said because of what Dame did for him, he was always going to be good. So I have a feeling that Kanye's probably paying his expenses and he's probably living off Kanye money. That's what I think. But I don't know for sure.
Here's the thing. So what I was thinking is that currently, until he hits a huge break, he has no incentive to pay off the money or really make money. So it's anything he makes is going to be going to that.
Right. So you might as well just have fun.
Unless he finds something that's going to be whatever net 10 million really profitable, why the fuck? So he's not going to be let me go do this for 20,000. I'm pretty sure he's living still fine, right? He's still living in a decent house.
Yeah, but listen, you get paid that money through someone else. People who are in debt. Listen, I've dealt with people, I'm not going to say any names so they don't get in trouble, but there's lots of people who I have paid that I know have lawsuits and debt and whatever else, and they just have me paid through other people. And that's not my problem. I paid, you sign an invoice, you have an invoice, W-9, you did the job. It's not up to me to make sure to connect it directly to you. I paid, everyone's happy, y'all work it out on your own. So he could be making money through other means without having to pay back his debt. But listen, at the end of the day...
I think that's a crime, though, but...
it is a crime, but people do it all the time. And all I'm saying is, for the people that say, and I have a friend that say, Dame is that's the CEO I really look up to. I'm you should probably find someone else to look up to because look at where this guy is right now. I think it's fair. I totally think it's fair.
I'm going to tell you why. with everybody, there's no one person that I believe you should take everything from them. Like, there's a lot I would take from Dame, but something I wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't take maybe some of the attitude and the bravado that probably has, and the ego that has probably hurt some of the situations. But would I take some of the philosophies and some of the, okay, well, if we're in an industry, let's figure out how to revolution. Of course. I think that's amazing.
What has he revolutionized?
Well, again, we're going to use the
That's
word.
what I'm saying. You can talk about.
We're going to use.
I'm not talking about people putting out theories. At the end of the day, what has he actually done? He's done a lot at Rockefeller. No one's going to deny this. He was a key component, but Jay was the real star, and I don't think he ever really fully realized that.
Yeah, but
because he would have played his position to keep Rockefeller together or go with Jay to the next step. It's almost similar to what Suge Knight did with Dr. Dre.
But whether you want to look at Rockefeller as a production company or whatever, like just a record company in its own, them creating that infrastructure that worked with Def Jam in the way they did, I do believe that's very different than probably how they work with a lot of other labels, which, by the way, later on, most of these artists now are not signed directly to the main label. They're signed through some production company or some intermediary.
Like I said, the Rockefeller era, I think he played an important role, and I would never take that away from him. But, and I think he did well with Rachel Roy, the clothing company. I think they did well with that. But now we're talking about 20 years ago. See what I'm saying? The last 20 years, I can't name a single thing that Dame Dash has done that I would emulate.
I see redeeming qualities in him, but I definitely see someone that if I was supposed to get in business with him potentially, it feels like more of a headache than I would even want to deal with.
Everyone I know that tried to do business with Dame ended up in the same position as me. That's all I'm saying.
Possibly, okay.